So I was looking at my video stats here on YouTube, and I realized it's been over 5 months now since I last did a video looking at one of my custom builds. And that being the case, I feel that one of these videos is long overdue. So I've gone ahead and picked out another build from my 1/64 scale collection, and today I'm going to continue on the trend of looking at what I call screen time customs, which are basically vehicles that I've custom built which have appeared in various types of visual media. And that being said, today I'll be showing off my custom 1/64 scale Old Dominion garbage truck. Now, when I built this garbage truck, it was actually the second one of these I made, and I can actually bring in the first one here, and when you see the two models side by side, you may be able to see they're pretty similar, although the Old Dominion garbage truck required a little more work to the trash body to make it look the way I wanted it to. And both of these trucks actually started out as dump trucks that you'd get from First Gear. I've actually got this one. You can see this is basically how they look, and in some cases these trucks also came with plows mounted on the front, which in that case you usually had to source a bumper from another Mack truck by First Gear. But I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about my process and how I made this garbage truck right here. So the main objective of this build was to replicate the garbage truck which was seen in the music video No Such Thing as a Broken Heart by Old Dominion. And I believe the song came out sometime around 2017, and I enjoyed it so much I went ahead and looked up the music video to it, and at the beginning there they actually show this garbage truck. And I really like the look of it, mainly because of the graffiti on the side here, which I believe is supposed to be the main focus. And I got to thinking to myself, it's like, I gotta have one of those for my 1/64 scale collection. And if you want to see the actual truck, I will provide a link to the video. I'm not going to put any photos up on here just because I don't want to have any issues with copyright. But when I built this truck, there were some creative liberties. First being that the actual truck was an International 4900. This here is a Mack Granite. Second would be the actual truck was on loan from J.E. McMurtry Disposal, I believe. This truck here, I've just given it a different company name for reasons I'll explain later. But pretty much you've already seen that this truck started out as a dump truck. Not a lot was done with the cab. The main thing was just the addition of the trash body. I will say though that the original bumper on this did have a push bar on it. I didn't want that, so I just pulled this bumper off of another Mack Granite so I could have just a normal one. But getting onto the trash body itself, this is where it probably gets a little interesting, because one of those dump trucks at the time I think was like 60 some dollars, and this trash body is actually from a $2 plastic fantastic pullback garbage truck. You know, one of those budget ones you buy, you pull it back, it shoots across the kitchen floor into the refrigerator. The big question here though is, can you really justify buying a $60 model to put a $2 trash body on it? I've had guys, I've asked them that question, and they say it looks good, so you know, maybe I'm just a little too self-conscious about my decision here. But the trash body did require a bit of modification to get it to work, and I know this worked before when I made my first model. But if I bring that first one in, you'll see there's some raised details on the side of the trash body here. Those had to go, and I just used the Dremel to go in and grind them down. And once they were gone, I went back and applied some putty to the side here and sanded that down to try to smooth things out, and gave it a few coats of primer to show any imperfections and any areas that needed more attention. But after that was done, I had to remove some stuff from the trash body. The first thing is there was like pins that stuck out here. Those were cut off. What would happen is there was all this extra components on the bottom here that would push the plunger out the back of the truck, and at the same time it would also lift the tailgate. Went ahead and removed all that, didn't need it there, so got rid of all that stuff, then went ahead and gave the body a coat of primer, final coat of primer, to make sure everything was good, and then I went ahead and painted it gloss white similar to the cab here. Now, the white may not be correct to the rest of the truck, but it's close enough in my opinion. But after that was done, I had to figure out how I wanted to mount this to the truck. And really all I've done here is I've used some JB quick weld right at the front here, just in a little pocket where the hydraulic cylinder would be to raise the dump bed. A little bit there and a little bit on the back of the truck here. I think you can just see that there. You can also see the old tail lights which were in place here. But the body is pretty much left open at the bottom. I don't think it really matters because, you know, it's not like anyone's really going to be picking up this truck and looking at it when it's on display. So I wasn't really concerned about putting a floor in the trash body. But it seems to work. Looks pretty good in my opinion. Going around to the other side here, talk a little bit about the decals next. They only had an Old Dominion decal on this side, and they had the graffiti on the other side. Now, what I've done to replicate what I have here is I've just took a screenshot of the actual trash truck and I think I had a friend of mine go in and try to sharpen this image up a little bit, make it look a little nicer, and then scaled it to size for this trash body. But the one on here on the other side is pretty much just a vector that I put on here, and wasn't really a whole lot of work. The only thing I am a little disappointed about with these decals is they're actually stickers instead of water slides. I think water slides would look a little better. But one of the last things was these decals on the bottom here. And originally I had planned to paint the bottom of the truck red in this area, like the one in the music video. But the only problem was I did not have any red paint at the time. So I just went ahead and printed out a red sticker, and I put McMurtry Disposal on here, mainly because that's the company I put on this truck as well. For those of you guys that know your Disney movies, you might possibly know where I got the name McMurtry Disposal from. But after that, this truck was pretty much done. Did go in and paint the tail lights and such. Not really anything else I can say about this other than that's pretty much all the modifications I did to this truck. It is pretty nice that these first gear trucks, they come with working steering. They also got the opening hoods with the detailed engines. And of course, the doors open, and they do have a detailed interior. So that was part of the reason why I used the first gear truck. I know Ertl, they do make the International 4900s, but that would have required either framework or trying to mount the cab on a new frame. So I just figured it was easier to go this route here, considering I had already done it previously with this truck. As you can see, there was quite a bit of work to make this truck look the way it does, and granted, it's not a spot-on replica to the one Old Dominion used in their music video, but I think it's close enough. I like it, and I mean, I've even had some people at diecast shows point this out. So, in all, I think it's pretty good. One more thing I would like to do to this truck at some point, which I highly doubt it'll ever happen. I'm not that lucky. But I wouldn't mind possibly having Old Dominion autograph the top of this. I just think it'd make this one of the more unique pieces in my collection if that were to happen. But again, I won't get my hopes up. I am curious, though, after they got done shooting the music video, whether or not this truck retained the graffiti on the side, or if the disposal company just painted over it. Who knows, this truck might not even be on the road anymore. But I guess that's pretty much going to conclude this video looking at this custom. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on this build. And also go ahead and let me know if you're a fan of Old Dominion, and maybe even tell me what your favorite song is by them. So that's going to be all for now. Again, feel free to let me know your thoughts on this custom build. And I'll catch you guys in the next video, which hopefully won't be another 5 months from now.